का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
In today's episode, we remember the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who died on the 27th of May 1964.
Jawaharlal Nehru was born in Allahabad on November the 14th, 1889. As a student, Nehru had been interested in the struggle of all nations who suffered under foreign domination. He took keen interest in the Sinn Féin movement in Ireland. He returned to India in 1912 from England and was drawn into the struggle for independence.
In 1912, he attended the Bankipur Congress as a delegate and became secretary of the Home Rule League, Allahabad, in 1919. In 1916, he had his first meeting with Mahatma Gandhi and felt immensely inspired by him. He organized the first Kisan March in Pratapgarh district of Uttar Pradesh in 1920. He was twice imprisoned in connection with the non-cooperation movement of 1920 to 1922.
In 1926, at the Madras Congress, Nehru had been instrumental in committing the Congress to the goal of independence. While leading a procession against the Simon Commission, he was lathi-charged in Lucknow in 1928. On August 29, 1928, he attended the All-Party Congress and was one of the signatories to the Nehru Report on Indian constitutional reform, named after his father Motilal Nehru.
The same year, he also founded the Independence for India League, which advocated complete severance of the British connection with India, and became its General Secretary. In 1929, Nehru was elected President of the Lahore session of the Indian National Congress, where complete independence for the country was adopted as the goal. He was imprisoned several times in connection with the Salt Satyagraha and other movements.
On October the 31st, 1940, Nehru was arrested for offering individual satyagraha to protest against India's forced participation in war. On August the 7th, 1942, he moved the historic Quit India resolution at the Congress session in Bombay and was arrested on August the 8th, 1942, along with other national leaders. After his release in January 1945, he organized legal defense for INA officers and soldiers charged with treason.
Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of India upon independence in 1947 and continued to serve the nation till his death in 1964. We salute the great Indian.
We also remember nationalist Hukam Singh, who died on the 27th of May 1983. Hukam Singh took part in the anti-Simon Commission demonstrations in 1928 and was injured and arrested during a police baton charge on a procession in the streets of Montgomery.
Simon, go back! Simon, go back! Simon, go back!
Hukam Singh was born at Montgomery in Sahiwal district, presently in Pakistan. Singh was initiated into politics through the Shiromani Akali Dal and was its president for 3 years. He was also a member of the Montgomery Singh Sabha and its president for 3 years. Hukam Singh was arrested in 1924 and sentenced to about 2 years of imprisonment.
partition forced Hukam Singh to cross over to India in August 1947. He became a refugee overnight. Disregarding his own safety, Singh actively took part in evacuating people from their houses and moving them to a safe place. However, his talents were soon recognized and he was appointed puisne judge of the State High Court, Kapurthala, in December 1947. Hukam Singh was elected to the Constituent Assembly of India on 30th of April 1948. He actively participated in the Constituent Assembly's debates and only a year after his entry was nominated to the panel of its chairman.
Hukam Singh was also a member of the Provisional Parliament during 1950 to 1952. He served as a Speaker of the House in the 3rd Lok Sabha. The conventions and rules devised by him continue to guide the working of the Parliament even today. The noble soul breathed his last on the 27th of May 1983. AIR News salutes the great Indian. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.